Hey guys, I'm back. So I mixed up my resin, which is Stone Coat Art Coat. I will tell you the colors when I'm done pouring, mostly because I want to get these jewelry things filled. Unless I know of a color as I go through. I did put some orange glitter in these to create necklaces for those people like me who have MS and are fighting every day. So I'll put that in there. We'll see how those turn out. Those of you on YouTube, if you put in the comments that you have MS, I will send you one of these for free. I won't even charge for shipping. Just put in there in the comments that you have MS and your email, if you're willing to put it in the comments. If not, you can send me a message at diane.gideon@gmail.com. Okay, so I only used, for one color, I used the Stone Coat Ocean Blue Metallic with some Pearl Metallic mixed in. And I can tell you that is this color here, which is very nice. The rest of them I used that I had gotten online from other people, and they mixed very well. This one is called Mother of Pearl. So we'll see, but let me pour into here. As you see, this is my butterfly one, and I did put a little glitter in that ahead of time. If this doesn't turn out, I'll come back and do orange, either acrylic or paste in there. But I just want to get some of my molds filled. This is the one mold I'm going to fill. I really am curious to see the Tree of Life mold, which I think I'm going to do in the sea foam, which is, again, what I got off of Etsy. So I think that would look really cool in sea foam. So that's my plan. And I'm going to get resin everywhere, but that's okay because it peels off. But you need to make sure you fill them. So here we go. And they may fill over, because I need to make sure the whole mold gets filled, but that's fine. So let me try and lay this down, and it'll level itself out. This mold, I don't know if you can see, it has a rocky bottom, and I didn't order it. They sent this extra, and I'm not really sure what I would do with that. But I'm going to fill it and just see what it looks like. That's using this turquoise color. I'm going to fill that and see how it turns out. I don't even think I'll fill it all the way, but we'll fill it enough to see how the bottom looks. So the butterfly. So I did put some of the, I'm going to call it turquoise glitter in there, and I'd like to follow that up. I don't know if I should follow it up with the blue or the seafoam green or both. So let me start by doing it this way, because then you can use multiple colors. Like if I fill these wings, again using Stone Coat, I think you have about an hour working time. Some people say 45 minutes. I personally, since I've already used it, think it's more like an hour. But I'm just going to put that in here with the glitter. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work out and I have to figure out later date how to do my butterflies. Let me just pour it in. Might be easier. So you're all kind of learning with me. But if this turns out good, then we could all do this and have ourselves a nice little jewelry business. Or just jewelry that we like to wear. I really love the seafoam green. And again, that's from the pigment I got online, which I'm really thinking it might be just cosmetics. And I say that because it said it was available for cosmetic use. Well, if it's available for cosmetic use, it must be cosmetics, right? That's what I kind of think. So I'm going to pour that into this other butterfly. And I'll share these with you when they dry. They cure, I think, in 24 hours. I've used some of the molds before. Some I have not, like the butterfly is new. And then we'll use this color for that last butterfly. And it looks like some of the seafoam green is going to go over into it, which I'm fine with. You know, it can mix up. That's all right. It's all part of learning. So this is like they're calling it, I swear that bag says Rocky Port. Like a port wine almost, which I really do like that. I'm going to pour that into some of these necklace molds because I would totally wear that port wine color in a necklace. So when you're doing the necklace molds, make sure you get around the little hole that goes through there for the necklace. These have no glitters in them, they're just paint. And this one has like a big hole around it. Actually, I'm gonna sit down and do a couple of these here. If you haven't done resin jewelry, you know, it's not something that's, you know, you're gonna make big money at, but I think it's pretty cool. Like, I like going to art shows and finding some cool crafts. So I just have a little more of that port wine mixed. That's what I'm going to call it, port wine, because that's what it looks like. I'll put it in this puzzle piece, which is kind of a cool cutout, but I guess more for kids than adults. Some of the smaller pieces you can use to embellish as well. Let me scrape this. I need just a little more. I do have extra stone coat on the side mixed if I need to add some, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not add some. I'd rather you just do your thing. But I am going to add a little bit. I'm just not going to add any color to it. Okay. Mix that up. So I don't know how many of you have used resin. I want to get into it because I like the idea of the paintings and whatever it is, finishing smooth. Like, yeah, you may have to put a second coat on it, depending on what it is. But I really like that idea. I did a resin painting when I did two when I was in Pennsylvania, and they both turned out well. Now, I would have put a second coat had I stayed longer, but I did not, therefore, no second coat. You can find all these molds on Amazon or Etsy. This one is like a jeweled mold. My only issue with it is that there's no, like, you'd have to drill a hole to go in it for jewelry, which is what it's meant for. But And now we have this bright blue. So I'm just going to kind of finish up this mold of necklaces and see how that turns out. And we'll go into this big oval one. I just look at it and think, would I wear that, you know, with the right outfit? Would I put on this big piece of cool colored blue? And I totally would. So I have this light pink, which I wanted to try some of these. They do have holes in the middle. So I'm going to try that with this light pink. Now, I'm not zooming in, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. I think you basically, I mean, it's very hard to pour in there. I think it'll just basically run down if you pour over it. I don't want to waste a lot, but I'll be curious to see if it just pours down. So we'll leave that one like that. I'm running out of color. That's done. I do still have this blue, which is Stone Coat, Blue Metallic, and Pearl. And I'm going to try these. Trying to see. Now they really want you to go through that hole. And it seems to be working on that one I just did here. So let's do it here. This one has bigger holes, it's easier. I'm just kind of giving my mold reviews as I go along, because if you're going to buy these, I want you to know if they're actually worth it. Okay, so I'm going to use my heat gun and heat some of this up just to get the air bubbles out. Nothing major. But I do see some of them have air bubbles. And we don't want that. One thing I've learned, if you're using a heat gun and you have plastic underneath it, make sure you turn the tip away from the plastic. I learned that the hard way. Well, this is good because when you heat it up and it needs to go in a hole here on these, the hole opens. So that's kind of good. Same with these that I have a hole in them. Now, y'all may have more patience than me, but I am trying to blow some of this actually in the hole. Same with this one. Let's try to do that. All right. So So I do have a little bit of extra resin, so I'm going to fill these stinking holes again. I'm not going to do this jewel one. I don't have what it takes to put a hole in that. But I will do the smaller ones with the holes and heat it up, because then it just fills. But this is like an emerald green. I'm sure they called it something else, but I'm starting to wonder if I could literally go and get eyeshadow and make that my color and just, just add it, because they say that, these can be used cosmetically. So if you're telling me that what you're sending me can be used cosmetically as eyeshadow, then I'm kind of thinking that's what it is. Has anybody used that or know of that? If you do, please leave me a comment. It would help me greatly in my upcoming resin pours. Okay. So most of my cups are fairly empty. The seafoam one is not yet, so let me pour a few more of these bigger pendants with that. I love anything that has to do with the sea. I'm a big ocean girl. If I didn't have MS and I could take the heat, I would live at the beach. And my husband, being from Florida, would love that. But unfortunately, the humidity and the heat kill me. So I go in the winter time. 65 to 70 degrees with a nice breeze. That's my kind of beach weather. Which most of you would probably say you'd be shivering, but again, my body has no heat control. So that's kind of what I like. Let's make sure I got around this. Okay, and I have one more on this palette to fill. What do I got left? I do have some pink left. Let me make sure this is full, all these. It's just weird. I would have designed, maybe I should design these. I don't have a 3D printer though, which is what I would guess you would need to do that. Just some silicone and a 3D printer. I hear they've come down in price, but if I have $3,000, I'm not spending it on a printer. That's just me though. Get rid of some of these cups. We got a little of this blue left. We mix it in here. See what we get. I really like this blue. Let's do a little swirl. Now mind you, when you wear a piece, you don't look at the back. So that might not matter to anybody. I do still have some clear stone coat. So I could do something else. Get some of this seafoam out of here. I'm going to heat these up one more time. Make sure everything is filled. And I'm just putting this on low, so I apologize for the noise, but so can you see, like, when okay, the whole thing gets hot, but I can still hold this. Do you see how it fills up? Or you can tell where it needs more. I'm going to try and stretch it into the interior here to fill. filled for me. Dang it, there we go. And then I'm going to take it down here and try and bend it into that corner one that needs to be filled. Fill. Okay, and that's full. And then I'm just going to use my gloves and move it around. There we go. These other ones are full. I just need to let them dry. So there's my tutorial on doing resin jewelry. I have a lot more molds coming, not just for jewelry, but for some flowers like the lotus and the rose and a couple other flowers that I'm curious to see how they go. So thank you for watching. One question again, that if you know the answer to this, I want to color this black sand so I can use it in resin pours or in resin paintings. So if you have an idea, whether it be acrylic paint or something else, even I hate to use spray paint, but acrylic paint or resin to pour over this and actually stick to it without Mod Podge or anything like that, let me know your ideas. I hope you liked this video, and I would appreciate it if you haven't subscribed. If you do, share the video and click like, and I will see you on the flip side.